Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this week's edition of I Got the Runs, where we do a quick flashback to this week's Flash episode.
The answer to last week's flashback is, the name of the Smallville episode is called Run. We started the episode off, actually, one of the crunkiest parts of the episode, which is saying a lot. Cicada is fighting a metahuman, and this is actually one of the best fights I've actually seen in the Flash. Cicada gets hurt, but he does manage to take the metahuman down. Meanwhile, back at the Flash camp, everybody feels like dicking around this episode. Dibney goes off with Cecile to try to find Cicada, so their plot doesn't even matter. Nora goes off to investigate with Iris, so the shit they doing don't matter either. So let's get down to the main plot. Barry and Cisco have finally tracked down Kayla's father. We can finally end this mystery. Who is he? Where did he come from? And all that bullshit. We finally get to her father. He's gibbering and jabbering about why he's been there. It doesn't make sense. But you know what? We gotta pad out this episode. They take him back to the lab. He's trying to cure his disease and he needs Kayla's help. Cisco is the only one thinking, hey, maybe this guy is lying. He does some investigation, find out Caitlyn's father isn't really her father, it's her alter ego. And Caitlyn takes this point to, but you don't know. That's my daddy. You just met this man all in 5 seconds. Well, you know, he's been the father that's been around apparently the whole time. That's my daddy. And you can't talk shit about my daddy. I need him more than I need air. And you know, because Barry's a simp, hey Cisco, you know, that's your father. And you gotta let the bud. I respect Cisco so much more after this episode because he tore the Barry's ass. He pretty much looked at Barry, let me paraphrase here. If you were such a fuck boy and maybe use your brain, you will realize that her father is playing us to get what he wants. Barry sits there and cries for a moment, but because Iris isn't in the building to hold his dick, he goes finds a corner to crouch and cry in. He finally comes to his senses and says, hey, Cisco, you're making sense. This guy who we just met, who's Caitlyn's father, has been lying to us the whole time. The gang, Barry finally confronts Caitlyn, but that's my daddy. I believe my daddy. And then finally it clicks to her, hey, he's been playing you guys this whole fucking time. Now, here's the time to go confront Caitlyn's dad, who officially now is Icicle. Now, I know what you're thinking. They got a plan just in case he was lying to capture him. But no, there's 20 minutes left in the episode. So what do? Hey, we know you're not Caitlyn's real dad. So what do you have to say for yourself? Okay, 3 morons in front of me. I'm gonna use my ice powers to incapacitate you. So it's 15 minutes left in the episode, so you know what that means. It's time with the encounter with the main bad villain. The crew find out where Icicle is housed at, and they find the room where he is because where he's at, it's almost at negative degrees. It's almost at 0 degrees. So the whole team pops in the room and instantly pass out because they can't maintain the cold. Let me get this straight. You knew how fucking cold it was in the room before you went in there. I'm pretty sure at some point you knew your powers wouldn't work in the cold. And all of you motherfuckers decided to go there at once so you can lay on the floor like assholes. Like dying fish out of the sea. And then Caitlyn, oh simp ass, why am I the only one affected? I don't know, maybe because of your cold powers, bitch. So, she finally realizes she has her Killer Frost powers, and now she changes to Killer Frost because, wait for it, the power of friendship. Because her bond with Barry and the rest of the asshole crew is so strong, her powers just came back from nowhere. So she squares up with her daddy, Icicle. It's Killer Frost versus Icicle. She beats the shit out of him. And of course, in the last blow, Caitlyn's true father appears through Icicle and says he's proud of her or some half-ass bullshit like that. And then he escapes. And then Caitlyn turns around and then frees everybody from the cold. The Savage Award of this episode goes to Cisco because the way Cisco told Barry about himself, if you saw Barry's spirit break in his eyes. Like, that shit was, like, it wasn't an act. This was real. Like, I'm pretty sure when they yelled cut, he went to his trailer and cried. The Doodle Award goes to Caitlyn. Because not only did she believe a stranger over her friend she's been riding out for years, the crying, the whining, and the boo-hoo bullshit, and then the power of friendship moment to get her powers back. And then at the end, they gave her a deafener so she could pretty much sit in the corner and literally talk to herself. Talk to the killer frost within her. Now it's time for this week's flashback. Who played Captain Boomerang in Suicide Squad? Thank you guys for suffering through this week's episode of I Got the Runs. You know what? They had nothing to do. There was nothing to do. Like, we spent an hour watching Killer Frost come back just so she cannot use her powers because they ain't got the budget. You know, I'm trying to hold on. I'm trying to stay in there. What's that song? Hold on for one more day. But I don't think I'm gonna make it. Like and subscribe. We got plenty of shit for you guys to see. But until next time, what do we do?